Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to our playthrough of Eldritch Horror, where we're taking on Hastur. At the end of part 1, we ended up having to replace 3 investigators coming out of that. We're halfway through the second mystery, but we're still in a little bit of a pickle. We're down to 3 doom left on the board, and it's going to be a close one, folks. So, with that said, let's go ahead and meet our new replacement investigators. Yes, as you'll see, I'm going to be taking a little bit of a cheap win here. No, you're not allowed to judge me for it because this ancient one is hard enough. Anyway, our first replacement investigator, Jenny's replacement is Jim Culver, the musician. 7 health and 5 sanity. 3 is on lore, influence, and will. 2 is on observation and strength. Component action, each investigator on your space recovers 1 sanity. Passive, investigators on your space roll 1 additional die when resolving tests during combat encounters. No. Not quite at all. Dead folks get downright rambunctious when I play my horn. Jim starts off with a clue and shriveling. Shriveling as an action. Action, test lore. If you pass, choose a monster on your space to lose 2 health, then flip this card. That will do it for Jim. Let's go meet Monty's replacement. Monterey Jack's replacement is Mandy Thompson, the researcher. 5 health and 7 sanity. 3 lore, 3 influence, 4 observation, 1 strength, 2 will. Component action, draw 2 cards from the clue pool, spawn 1 and discard the other. After resolving a research encounter, if you gained exactly 1 clue from that encounter, gain an additional clue. I will find a way to end this horror. I will not stop searching. For starting, she starts with a Know Thy Enemy task. When you gain a clue during a research encounter, place 1 Eldritch token on this card, then you may flip this card. And the magnifying glass asset. Once per round, you or another investigator on your space may spend 1 clue to reroll any number of dice when resolving a test. Mandy starts in Shanghai on top of Daisy, but we're not interested in her stuff right now. That will do it for Daisy, or for Mandy. Let's go meet Agnes's replacement. Agnes's replacement is Joe Diamond, the Private Eye. Component action, choose ally, service, or weapon. Then discard 1 asset from the reserve and replace it with one random asset from the deck that has the chosen trait. Once per round, when you improve a skill, also improve 1 other skill of your choice. I was hired for a job. Evil gods or no, I aim to finish it. 7 health, 5 sanity. 2 lore, 3 influence, 4 observation, 2 strength, 2 will. He starts off with the 32 Colt pocket. Roll 1 additional die when resolving a strength test during a combat encounter, and you may re-roll 1 die when resolving a strength test during a combat encounter. And he starts in San Francisco. So, not coincidentally, everybody around or on Eldritch tokens. But, anyway, that's where I'm getting cheesy with it, and yes, like I said, I am going to take somewhat of a cheap win because this is a Nightmare Ancient one as it is. So, let's go into the action phase, and we'll pay Carolyn a visit first. We mostly were able to protect Carolyn like fine china in this game, so I think we're ultimately going to pull this one out of the fire. For action 1, she's going to use her component action, which lets her discard a madness condition and or rest. So first she's going to discard Despair, and then she's going to rest. So she's going to recover 1 health and 3 sanity from her passive and her resource. So she's going to go up to 3 health and 5 sanity. And then I've got 2 rolls I've got to make. So I've got to roll for her leg injury and her amnesia. The way I'm going to roll this is I'm going to roll... grab some extra dice out of here. Alright, so we'll do that and that. We got the dice tower over here as well. Perfect. We'll have to get that out of the way before we get her moving. So red die is going to be for her leg injury, blue die is going to be for her amnesia, and I want 5s or 6s all around. Amnesia go bye-bye. Carolyn's still hampered by her leg injury. Then for her second action, I'll get the dice tower out of shot. For her second action, Carolyn's going to burn her ship ticket so she can get straight up to Rome. Yep, we got Rome just barely in shot, so we'll move Carolyn up to Rome. Anyway, that will do it for Carolyn. Now let's go pay Mandy a visit. Given that I just want to make sure we get out of this game okay, I'm going to give Mandy a focus. And a resource. And in case you're wondering why our new investigators didn't take their personal stories, I'm hoping the game's only going to last one more turn, so I didn't bother grabbing personal stories out. Anyway, that will do it for Mandy. Now let's go pay... let's go pay Joe a visit. We have both Joe and Jim in shot over here, so his turn is going to be a carbon copy of Mandy's turn. Focus and a resource. I just want to make sure the decks don't put the screws to us as much as I can. Jim's turn is going to differ from Joe and Mandy's, only in his instead of taking a resource, he's got to move to Arkham, but he'll also take a focus. So that will do it for the action phase. Now we'll go into the encounter phase, and we'll go pay Carolyn a visit first. Now is not the time to fall down asleep on the job, Carolyn, so we're going to have a Rome encounter. A stranger stands outside during a storm at night. He invites you to pledge yourself to Samanas to receive the god's gifts when the day breaks. You may gain a Dark Pact condition to gain 1 boon condition and improve will and 1 other skill of your choice. Right now, Dark Pacts can definitely get bent. So we've resolved the encounter. Carolyn will spend 2 sanity, which will only be at 1 because of the tattered cloak, and gain a madness condition. Carolyn will end up with paranoia, which she does not have, I don't think. Nope. Alright, so she's got paranoia. I think we got rid of this earlier. But anyway, that will do it for Carolyn once I get the... Once I get it in here. Here we go. Next up, let's go pay Mandy a visit. And we'll put that Eldritch token on the mystery. And now, we'll go pay Mandy a visit. Alright, Monty's still on space 17. But we are interested in Mandy, who will encounter Shanghai, and it has to be a location encounter or a research encounter, so we can't encounter Daisy for the mystery. Alright, Shanghai. You place a wager on a game of Go against young Wu Qingyuan. Test lore. Mandy's lore is 3, so we get 3 dice on this. We will spend the focus. And still fail. That's unfortunate. Alright, if you fail, you pay for his future career in Japan, gain a debt condition. Unfortunately, poor Jenny bid it in Buenos Aires, they're not Buenos Aires, in Bogota, so we have to get the debt condition. A deal, common. Local action, test influence. If you pass, discard this card. Reckoning. Some men have come to collect on your debt. Flip this card. But more relevant right now, Mandy will spend 2 sanity and gain a madness condition. Hallucinations. To put her Eldritch token on the mystery. So that brings us up to 6. That will do it for Mandy. Now let's move over to North America where Joe and Jim are waiting. Alright, so Joe is going to encounter San Francisco first, and then Jim will encounter Arkham. Alright, San Francisco for Joe. The street magician Juan Lo asks you for a few simple items. If you agree, he vanishes with them, leaving behind a scroll that teaches you the disciplines of an ancient overlord. You may spend 1 resource to improve 1 skill of your choice. Fortunately, he had the action to take a resource, so we will go ahead and spend the resource. We'll improve, what is it? 1 skill of your choice, which is effectively 2 because of Joe's special ability. So we'll grab influence and observation. And then Jim in Arkham. You find an odd object at the ruined Waitley farm. Gain 1 random magical asset from the deck. Okay, so first magical asset here we will grab. I'll zoom out a little bit, just so I don't have to hold it so far away. Alright, Protective Totem. Once per round, if you would lose a total of 2 or more health and or sanity, you may prevent 1 of that loss. Okay. Alright, and of course, there's more. Come on. There we go. Shredded notes litter the site. Lore -1. So we need 2 dice. And we fail. We'll have to deal with the fail here. If you fail, the writing is gibberish, lose 1 sanity. I will just deal with that because I'd rather save the Protective Totem for something going wrong in the Mythos phase. So, folks, we have 1 job right now. Survive the Mythos phase. Let's move back up top and see what happens. We're back up top and just about ready for the Mythos phase. Before I forget, I did almost forget, Joe and Jim both need to spend their 2 sanity and gain madness conditions. Joe's madness condition up first will be Terror, which I don't have out here somehow, so I need to go back to my binder and grab it. Ah, here we go. Alright, here's our Terror for Joe. When you perform a rest action, you can't recover sanity, roll a die. On a 4, 5, or 6, discard this card. Reckoning, test will. If you fail, flip. And then Jim ends up with Paranoia, which we've seen before. Madness conditions going all around. So we'll just recall this. When you perform a rest action, you may roll 1 die. On a 5 or 6, discard this card. Reckoning, test will. If you fail, flip. Both of those Eldritch tokens go up on the mystery. And now our objective is pretty simple. Survive the Mythos phase, preferably by ducking a Reckoning. Which we are Unfortunately, we have a 1 in 3 chance of this being green. It is not. That's not surprising. Okay, so we start off with Omen Movement. We have 2 blue gates on the board, so we have 1 doom to spare. Now the Reckoning. Let's see, monsters. Let's see, do we have any? Uh-oh, this could be a problem. Alright, so the cultist in Antarctica doesn't ambush anybody. No Reckonings there. The Firebug. Bring the dice tower and shot. Jim's going to get ambushed in a minute. But first we have to roll a die. On a 1 or a 2, we basically end up waking Hastur up. So, yeah, what did I do with my dice cup? Here we go. We'll just use this one. So we don't want to see a 1 or a 2. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. No whammy. Okay. That would have been a big whammy to hit, but we dodged a bullet. So Jim is going to get ambushed by the Bayaki, so straight will. His will is 3. Okay, he only needed 1 success. Straight... Oh, he should have rolled 1 additional die. Not that it would have mattered, he already got the success. So straight strength, which is still 3 dice. Alright, he takes 1 damage, but I can deal with that. And then the Bayaki leaves the board. Because the last monster. Ancient One. Investigators as a group lose sanity equal to the number of gates on the board unless the lead investigator gains a blight condition. And Carolyn... that would be 4 sanity. Right? Yeah, 4 sanity. Let's see. I will have Mandy lose 2 and Carolyn lose 2. Okay, so Ancient One's done. Mythos cards. We lose the agency stakeout and put an Eldritch token up on there. Up on that space on the reserve. Possessions and conditions. This could kill us. So let's see. Living Link. We'll flip this first. Improve 1 skill of your choice. I'm going to improve strength here for Carolyn. So that the Reckoning hopefully will help us out. And first we'll deal with her corruption. You know what? I've got a better idea, actually. I'm going to resolve her skill tests first. So, similar to what we did before, I'm going to roll these at the same time, just to save myself some time. So, strength. Okay. 6 and so I need 6 blue and 3 red dice. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So similar to what I did before, I'll roll red dice. I'll roll red dice for the leg injury and blue dice for the paranoia. Neither one goes off. Okay. That's very fortunate. Then Carolyn gains an Eldritch token on her corruption, and then we flip that at 1. You may gain a Dark Pact condition to discard all of your Eldritch tokens. You seem to have aged a year in the last day. Your body and soul both dimmed by some unnatural transformations. For each Eldritch token you have, lose 1 health and 1 sanity unless you discard 1 possession. So fortunately that's 1, and actually, I don't think I ever retreated Doom, so we would actually have 2 Doom left. I'll discard the mineralogy research because that's not doing anything for us anyway. So Carolyn has 1 Eldritch token on her corruption. Mandy has hallucinations to roll for, so she'll roll for that first. See if we even need to worry about the debt. She does flip her hallucinations. The voices. In the past, you've barely been able to hear the whimpering at the edge of your consciousness. Now that the voices are more audible, you can hear the horrible demands they are making of you. Lose 1 sanity, then flip. Uh-oh. This could end up being a problem. Let's see what happens on the debt. Some men have come to collect on your debt. Flip this card. Oh no. The man wears a hat and a brown trench coat. We do not want your money, he hisses and grabs your throat. You feel as if part of your identity is being stolen from you. Test will. Oh no. Mandy, now is not the time to be failing will tests. Oh, for crying out loud. If you fail, a fragment of your soul is ripped away, lose 3 sanity, then discard this card, and Hastur has woken up. Fan-freaking-tastic, Mandy. Nice. Yeah, that was brilliant. So, hallucinations goes away. Okay, so we have another... Oh, no. Hastur doesn't wake up, because I remember to retreat Doom from solving the first mystery. But Mandy still has gone insane. Good grief! We have a just cat. Shanghai is just stacked with bodies at this point. Let's see, and then Jim. Jim, we need to pass this. It's a will test. I'm going to pour everything I've got into this. Spending the focus. Actually, we'll just roll both of them at the same time. We'll spend the focus and the clue. Oh, great. Paranoia. Violent outbursts. You felt the anger coil up inside of you for such a long time, you just can't control it any longer. You lash out at anyone near you. Each other investigator on your space loses 2 health, and you discard 1 ally asset, then flip. Fortunately, the protective tome will let me prevent 1 of that loss, so I go down to 5. I don't have an ally asset to discard, so I don't have to worry about that. Joe's also going to have to spend a focus, most likely, to reroll. This is a will test. Joe passes. Okay. Alright. We did Jim first, then Joe. Okay, whatever. And that's all possessions and conditions. Now we spawn a gate. So we get Tunguska. We'll get a monster with that. We get a leopard man. Straight will. Need 1 success to not lose sanity. Straight strength, need 2 successes to not lose health. 2 toughness to kill it. When this monster is spawned, move it to the Heart of Africa, then search the expedition deck for Heart of Africa expedition encounter, shuffle and put it on top. I'm not going to worry about that. Mostly because I think we've dodged the bullet here. Let's take a look. You open the door of your hotel You open the door of your hotel to find several stone-faced policemen. There's been a lot of unexplained deaths, and nothing attracts suspicion like being a stranger. Arrests made in murder case. Event. Each investigator on a city space with a weapon possession tests influence. If they fail, discard one weapon possession and gain a detained condition. Let's see, I think everybody's on city spaces right now, but the only one with a weapon is Joe. So he's got to test influence. Fortunately, his influence is pretty good at 4. But I think we have barely dodged the bullet. Joe passes the test. So that gets discarded. And yes, we have indeed dodged the bullet because we've solved the second mystery and we've won. Because remember, we needed 2 mysteries against Hastur. We won that with 1 doom to spare, though, and we had bodies everywhere. So, anyway, that will do it for this playthrough of Eldritch Horror. Next week, we're going to step out of the Arkham Horror files for a couple weeks, but we're not going to leave the Cthulhu Mythos. Next week, we're going to go back to Chaosium's Alone Adventures as we play Call of Cthulhu Alone Against the Flames. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.